lo que comentan. Yo soy Pepe Cossio, nuevamente les doy la bienvenida a la cossiopedia y a un nuevo capítulo del videojuego de Volver al Futuro. Para los que no lo recuerdan, estábamos escondidos aquí en estas cosas de reciclaje y tenemos que esperar a que el Doc repare el Delorean. Así que, no sé, supongo que vamos a movernos.
He's not coming back, you know.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
Emmett. Without me to guide him, he's almost useless.
zorra.
Before I found him, he was a miserable failure who never finished anything. But with me to inspire him, look at what we've built.
Qué pesadilla. ¿Me esperaste a hacer cosas malas? Sí, la verdadera esposa del Doc es mucho más agradable que tú.
You're not the only inspiration in Doc's life, you know. In my timeline, he married one of the sweetest women of the 19th century.
Sweetness. Yeah. Emmett needs discipline to stay focused. He's so easily distracted.
No esperaste a hacer cosas malas de buena.
Yeah, you've inspired him all right. Inspired him to turn Hill Valley into a bunch of uptight dorks.
I wouldn't expect a delinquent like you to understand.
Es capaz de hacer cosas grandes sin ti, la verdad sí.
You think you've inspired Doc? I'll have you know that without you, Emmett Brown is destined to build a time-traveling DeLorean and a flying time train.
Sí, sí.
Preposterous. Emmett couldn't even build a dog feeder without me to guide him.
Yeah, well, he did that too.
Es verdad.
Okay, Your Honor. Starting to get a little concerned here.
Más bien. Arregla el DeLorean.
Work! 1 second I'm in the present, the next I'm 6 months in the past. Amazing!
6 months? It took you 6 months to repair the time machine?
6 months, my family fortune, and a sketchy deal with a gang of Libyan nationals. But it was all worth it for this moment.
Emmett, don't do this. You need help.
Bueno, no sé.
Oh, blow it out your exhaust, poor dear. Now that I've escaped into the past, your pack of divorce lawyers can't... Mark, how long have you been waiting for me?
A couple of minutes, maybe?
That's curious. I set the repair time circuits to arrive only a couple of seconds after I left. Oh, well, I'm sure there's no need to be concerned. It's probably just a minor miscalibration of the time circuits. Here,
What's this?
clothes for our trip. We can't have you traipsing around 1931 in that ridiculous outfit.
Wait, our trip?
You didn't think I was going to let you erase the worst mistake of my life without my help, did you?
¿Sí? Bueno.
Fine, leave.
Bueno, con mucho gusto nos vamos a ir. La verdad no creo que se arrepienta de haber terminado con el otro. No por mucho.
Time circuit set for August 26, 1931. You ready to go, Your Honor?
Call me, Doc.
Llámame Doc. Y de nuevo volvemos al pasado a tratar de arreglar todo lo que dañamos. Los viajes del tiempo capciosos. Volvimos.
This is where I last saw him. You, teenage you. You were headed this way, arm in arm with Edna.
Ugh, luckily, my erstwhile wife was never the type to kiss on a first date. If we work fast and stay focused, we can see to it that our relationship never moves beyond the hand-holding stage.
Ojalá.
Well, will you look at that? The old town theater.
Genial. Que hay con eso, mínimo en el presente de ese maluco quitaron el coso. Lo voy a decir genial.
Very cool.
I haven't thought about this place in years. The missus made me tear it down back in '71. Said the movies were corrupting the younger generation. It was all nonsense, of course. I spent countless evenings here in my youth, and it never turned me into a hoodlum. Say, Remember Public Enemy? Why, you dirty rat, no good yellow-bellied stool.
Ah,
Never did manage to see Frankenstein, though.
pero vas a hacerlo ahora, sí. Para eso estamos aquí.
That's what we're here for. We've got to get young you to see Frankenstein.
Right,
Uh-huh.
of course. The film that was supposed to set off a chain reaction in my imagination, inspire me with a notion that would launch my scientific career.
You've still got no memory of what that notion was?
Me imagino que no, por ser una
How
línea.
could I? It happened in the brain of a different Emmett Brown. An Emmett Brown now erased by the shifting sands of time. Luckily for us, I do know something about my own brain, having lived in it for the past 70+ years. Once we get my younger self re-inspired by that movie, nothing will distract him from his proper... Great Scott, will you look at that?
Ah, ahora qué iba a
Town
hacer.
Square?
It's just like I remember it, only dirtier.
Eso es lo que me sucia.
The old courthouse.
Come on now, Doc. You need to go inside and check it out. First rule of time travel, Doc. Never allow your other self to catch sight of you. It could cause reality to collapse or something.
O algo.
Right behind you. Don't peek. Go on. I'll let you know when you're gone. And don't forget, you're Carl Sagan,
The billions and billions guy?
the suspected arsonist.
Huh?
Just go with it.
Convence a Emmet de ir a ver Frankenstein. Véalo por allá. Vamos de una vez donde Emmet. El joven Emmet. Vamos a ver con qué nos van a salir ahora. Disculpen la moqueadera, estoy un poco enfermo.
You do show up at the oddest moments. Where have you been hiding?
En 1986, en una distopía que tú creas, en una instalación de recondicionamiento mental. Voy a decir que 1986, no sé.
Oh, you know, here and there, you're a little hard to pin down yourself. I went looking for you last night, but...
I believe I was off entertaining a beautiful lady.
Ajá, ajá,
You know,
sí.
I never really got a chance to thank you.
Well, I'm
Okay.
sure you would have escaped Kin on your own.
Kid? Oh, sure, I'm grateful for that, but no, I'm talking about Edna. It's funny to think of now, but until that crisis, I actually thought Edna and I disliked one another. Imagine.
Confía en esa primera impresión, más bien.
Yeah, well, sometimes first impressions are right. The thing is, you shouldn't let Edna distract you from, you know, the business at hand. Finishing your project for the expo and going to see Frankenstein.
Oh, pshaw. I'm far too busy for movies these days.
But,
And as for my project, it's practically done.
the rocket car?
¿Sí?
The rocket car? Boy, are you out of date. I've junked a rocket car.
But,
More trouble than it's worth. I'll never figure out a propulsion system that does what I want it to do. And besides, its social utility is practically non-existent.
Utilidad social, a ver. Epifanía es todo. Sí, solo necesito una epifanía,
you'll
es todo.
figure it out, Emmett. You only need a bolt of inspiration, that's all. Maybe if you went to a...
The mental alignment meter is a much more worthy project.
The what?
¿Qué?
It was Edna's idea, and she's really been cracking the whip to get me to complete it in time for the expo.
Emmett, I'm a little confused here.
Sí. Yo solo para un día. ¿Qué sucede aquí? ¿Qué sucede? No vamos a cagarla primero, preguntemos.
What day is it?
Why, it's opening day. The opening day of the expo. Which reminds me, I'd better skedaddle back to the lab.
Uh-oh.
If Edna catches me dawdling, there'll be heck to pay. Catch you around, Corleone.
October 12th. Doc?
O sea que el... Puertas de la corte, o sea que si está es totalmente descalibrado el coso, porque se supone que íbamos a regresar era en el mes de agosto y estamos en octubre.
Come to think of it, it is a bit brisk for August.
Oh, 2 months late. The expo's about to start and teenage you is already in over his head with Edna.
I always did have a tendency to plunge into things.
Let's plunge into the Delorean and get to the right date.
No, it's far too risky. Remember how I was late picking you up in '86?
Yeah?
That's never been a tip-off. Something is horribly wrong with the time circuits, and the problem appears to be getting worse. If we try to jump now, we could find ourselves stranded in the Cenozoic age. Or worse, the Mesozoic.
Then we're stuck?
For the time being, I'll look into the problem and see what I can do. In the meantime, you can go to work on the other problem.
¿Cuál otro?
I'll go to the lab and see if I can talk teenage you out of...
Impossible. If young me is already as infatuated as you say, you're not going to be able to talk him out of anything. Believe me, I remember. Better to focus on the more clear-headed half of the couple.
Edna.
Edna
Where can I find her?
Where do you think? I'll drive. The Delorean should still function adequately as a means of conveyance in the first 3 dimensions.
Ok. El carro del futuro. Ay, mira, Narty. Ah, el man que nos trató
You're
de...
right.
joder.
There she is.
My soon-to-be ex-future wife is nothing if not predictable.
Do I really have to talk to her? I mean, couldn't I just hang out until you fix the time circuits and... I'll talk to her.
Más bien.
You'd better get the Delorean out of sight before someone...
Hey, you! Quit blocking the drive! All Car of the Future contestants need to report to the North Tent.
Why not?
Póngalo por allá, mono.
Good luck.
Gracias. Vamos a ver entonces qué es lo que vamos a tener que investigar. Ahí está Arthur y Edna. Hablemos con Edna, que es lo que necesitamos.
Spell it B-R-O-W-N. It's not exactly an obscure name.
I still don't see it on the list. I'm sorry.
Oh, for the love... Let me try this one more time. This is the Hill Valley Science Expo, right?
Sí.
First annual.
Indeed. The purpose of our fair is to showcase cutting-edge technology.
That's right. And to burnish Hill Valley's reputation as a forward-thinking community.
And yet, you want to exclude the maker of the most revolutionary breakthrough of all.
Epa.
It's not that I want to, but... Oh, dear.
Mr. Corleone! You do pop up at the oddest times. What are you doing here?
Separarte de Emmet, prevenir un futuro terrible, frustrar tus locos planes, prevenir un futuro terrible.
I need to...
Whatever it is, I hope you don't have to deal with Mr. Stonewall here. His sole function seems to be preventing people from accomplishing their business. Honestly, with him keeping the books, it's a wonder the Tannen gang got as far as they did. Have you seen Emmett?
Sí.
Yeah, just now, in the town square.
Oh, then you've heard all about his big breakthrough, the mental alignment meter. Isn't it exciting? And to think, he didn't even realize the import of his discovery until I pointed it out to him. I've never known anyone like him, so oblivious to his own potential.
I kind of wanted to talk to you about Emmett and his potential.
Funny, I didn't spot it myself at first. In fact, for the longest time, I thought I didn't even like him.
Yeah.
Sí. En realidad no es así. ¿Qué te atrae de él? Preguntemos.
I don't get it. I mean, Emmett's nice and all, but he's not exactly the kind of guy that has girls swarming all over him.
Es verdad.
I'm not your average girl.
Yeah, but...
I appreciate your concerns, Mr. Corleone, but I can take care of
Es que
myself.
Callahan.
I know what I'm looking for in a man, and it so happens Emmett fits the bill to a T. That's Emmett Brown. Rhymes with clown, which I'm beginning to think you are.
Just a simple mix-up, I'm sure.
I've no doubt of that.
Bueno, a ver, pistas. Si quieres separar a Edna y Emmet, necesitas hablar con Edna. Ya acabo de hablar con ella. No puede parar ocupada, pero sigue intentando hablar con... Pues exactamente qué ve ella en Emmet. Ok, sigamos hablando con Edna.
You said that Emmett fits your bill of requirements for a man.
Yes?
What would that list be exactly?
You'd make a good reporter, Mr. Corleone, you know that? Well, his physical appearance for one thing. Emmett may not be Clark Gable, but he cleans up surprisingly well. I gave him my grandfather's white suit to wear at the expo. Oh, you should see him in it. He looks positively radiant.
Looks good in a suit. Got it.
And he's completely devoted to me. That's important. I've got no time or tolerance for playboys.
Faithful as a Labrador. Check.
Fiel como un
Thirdly,
labrador.
and most important,
Yes?
well, his mind, of course. It's brilliant, and it's virtuous through and through. His own mind map shows him to be a model citizen.
Good brain. I see. And if it turned out that you were mistaken about any of these qualities,
Say, what's your game?
Just curious, just trying to understand the female mind.
Well, understand this. I'm not some faint-hearted girl who'd run away at the first hint of trouble. I've made a big investment in Emmett. Not money, but I've sunk all my ambitions into him. I'd have to be thoroughly disillusioned before I'd call it quits with Emmett. Got it?
Uh-huh.
Sí,
Now,
claro.
Mr. Cub Reporter, is there anything else?
¿Algo más? La chica. ¿Qué es el medidor de alineación mental? Sí, ¿qué es eso, parce?
What the heck is this mental alignment meter of Emmett's?
Oh, it's an absolutely revolutionary invention! Measures a person's affinities, what he's attracted to, what he's repulsed by, that sort of thing.
Interesting. And it really works?
Well, of course! What's the point of inventing something that doesn't work? Or, anyway, it works well enough for my purposes.
Para mis propósitos. Qué bueno que me está sentando
So you
cabeza.
say
No sé.
Emmett only has eyes for you?
Absolutely. It's almost embarrassing how devoted he is to me.
Well, it's good to hear he's finally settling down.
Yes. Settling down?
You know,
Oh,
ready to stop playing the field, as it were.
Playing the... Oh, you're joking.
bien. Me des un
But I
rompecorazones.
can't help feeling sorry for him.
Who?
All of Emmett's other girls, now that he's with you.
Please, I think I know Emmett by now. There are no other girls.
Ajá. Tiene una pequeña libretita negra. No sé.
I wonder what's gonna happen to Emmett's little black book.
Little Black Book?
Sí.
Oh, it's legendary. That's what enabled Emmett to become the, Valentino of Hill Valley High. Gee, I wonder if he'd let me have it.
You must think I'm pretty gullible, Mr. Corleone.
Me des un imán de
Rather
chicas.
hard for me to picture Emmett as a chick magnet.
Chick magnet.
A guy who gets the girls, you know, motors running.
Motors?
Who makes
Encender.
them, you know.
You mean a chic?
Un
Yeah.
shake.
Well,
¿Qué es
it's a
eso?
matter of taste, I suppose, but when he's properly pomaded and decked out in my grandfather's white suit, Emmett
Huh.
just glows. Makes my heart flutter a bit just to picture him.
Uy. No con Emmett como
You
yo.
say you
vamos a
know
ver.
Emmett is a model citizen, but you don't know him as well as I do. Did you know he once cheated some Libyans out of plutonium?
Plutonium? What would Libyans want with plutonium? I'm sure he had a very good reason.
Hmm.
Emmett's mind map demonstrates conclusively his brain is oriented toward virtue.
Esa es la virtud. Robó un
Just
tren.
one time, to power one of his science experiments, Emmett hijacked a train.
Please, there hasn't been a train hijacking in Hill Valley since the days of Mad Dog Tannen.
Exactamente ese fue. Me dice el
Emmett's done a
lector.
lot of shady things in his time. My vice principal warned me to stay away from him.
Your vice principal sounds like a dolt.
Sí, es tu hermano en realidad. Bueno, dejemos
That's
salir.
all the questions I got.
Very well then.
Oh. Oh, Trixie.
Hey, Audie, you see my Oriole?
You mean this?
Yeah, thanks.
Vea.
She gets to come and go freely, and I'm forced to wait. I love it.
Jejejeje. Yo creo que ya sé con quién le vamos a dar celos. Convencieron de que Emmett la engaña.
Ahem.
Back again, Mr. Corleone? What can I help you with?
I was
Vamos a
thinking,
ver. ¿Qué hace Trixie aquí?
what's Trixie Trotter doing in that outfit?
What's she doing here at all? That's the question. Women of that sort are generally found outside cheap hotels, not science expos.
Que sucia, parce. Bueno, no.
That's all the questions I got.
Very well then. How about you? Have you got any questions for me?
No.
Then kindly let me pass.
I'm afraid I can't until I've located your registration form.
Oh, this is absurd!
No, las reglas son las reglas mijas. A ver, pistas. No mira a otra mujer. ¿Quién puede hacer que piense de otra forma? Sobreponérselos a Edna. Oh, muy bien. ¿Dónde está Trixie? Trixie, Trixie. ¿Qué te hiciste, Trixie? Oh, vayan acá. Trixie.
To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who... Oh, hiya, kid. Say, aren't you the fellow who...
Got you to turn on Kid Tannen? You bet.
You look younger without your mustache. That was a dirty trick, you know, making me think Kid had gone and iced Artie.
I'm sorry, but it was the only way I could...
Ah, forget about it. I'm trying to. Yesterday's in the past. That's my motto. You gotta live for today.
Muy
Right.
bien.
So what are you doing down here anyway? Do you wish to pull the levers that control the future?
Ah,
At the expo, silly. Technology for a better tomorrow and all that.
oh,
Todo eso.
yeah, that's actually why I'm here.
¿Qué hace? Ayúdame a ponérselo a Edna. ¿Te trabaja aquí? ¿Cómo está Kid? ¿Qué hay sobre la expo? ¿Qué haces? Queremos.
So, who are you supposed to be?
Don't you know your Homer? I am Techni Muse of Progress. You can tell by the lightning bolts.
¿Qué caja?
Must have slept through that class.
I'm supposed to be a goddess-like. I'm the one who inspires all the great men who make the discoveries. And women, too. Leave us not forget Madame Curie.
Oh,
I
Madame
never would.
Curie.
So, you work for the expo?
Yeah, ain't it a kick? I greet all the important guests. And on the final day, I get to bestow the golden sundial on the winning contestant.
Muy bien. Ni disfraces ahí.
Technique, Muse of Progress. Not a bad gig.
Audie got it for me. It's my entree into respectability.
Ayúdame a ponérselas
Listen,
a Edna.
I've got a proposal for you. I have this friend, right?
No dice. I'm only seeing Audie now.
It's not like that. See, my friend's in a relationship with Edna Strickland.
Oh, poor schmuck. I wouldn't wish her on anyone.
You
Más
see where I'm
bien.
coming from. He won't listen to reason, but I thought she might call it off if she thought he and you were, you know.
Ah, you are an evil imp, ain't ya?
Sometimes a guy's got to resort to underhanded tricks. What do you
¿Es
say?
verdad?
Sorry.
Ah,
Edna might be a pill, but if I play dirty tricks on every dame who disapproves of me, well, I'd play a lot of dirty tricks. Besides, such stunts are beneath the dignity of Techni, Muse of Progress.
Bueno, voy a hacer que sea personal, no te preocupes. Artie trabaja aquí, pero
so
verá.
Artie's working for the expo too, huh?
Oh, Artie's doing swell. The papers made a big deal of him testifying against Kid. People have been beating down his door ever since the trial. The expo's darn lucky they could get him.
Excelente.
See
Bueno,
you, Trixie.
sigamos.
From this chamber of wonders, we bid you a fond adieu.
Qué caja. Y yo creo que me va a tocar hablar con Arthur para que...
Hey, Artie.
Officer!
Officer,
Right. Don't blow your cover.
will you please keep your mind on the task at hand?
Can't talk right now.
Bueno, a ver. Trixie no puede hacerlo a Edna a menos que Edna le haga algo malo. Trixie puede enfocar la maldad innata de Edna en una dirección productiva. Miremos.
Back again, Mr. Corleone? What can I help you with?
I was thinking.
Hablé con
I
Trixie.
found out about Trixie Trotter.
Yes?
Apparently they made her some sort of queen of the festival. Techni, the Muse of Progress.
They didn't. Well, they said this expo would give Hill Valley a reputation. I didn't realize this is what they meant.
What you got against Trixie?
¿Verdad?
It's the idea of it, allowing our city to be represented by a woman like that. I won't stand for it. As a socially conscious citizen, I demand you discharge that muse.
¿Qué hay?
Trixie? What's wrong with her?
Oh, she's hardly qualified for an honorific post at a public event.
Sucia.
Lady, she fits the costume. She's an American citizen, and she managed to memorize all her lines. What more qualifications do you want?
Más bien.
Oh, these people are impossible.
¿Quiere hacer que despidan a Trixie?
Why do you want to get Trixie fired?
One simply can't allow women like that to attain positions of respect in society. It creates a very bad precedent for the future.
Que es que un mal presente para el
But try
futuro.
telling it to this poor sap. She's got him completely steamrolled. That's how they operate.
Is it?
Still, I could get her discharged if I had the goods on her. No doubt a woman like that has left a trail of scandal, and I'd find it if I were still a reporter. But I haven't got time to do the legwork now. I'm too busy with Emmett and his invention.
Y nuestra su invención. ¿La haría despedir en un
So
parpadeo?
you wouldn't hesitate to get Trixie fired from her job?
If I had the goods on her. She's obviously got her employer completely bamboozled. The only way to snap him out of his spell would be to show him something really shocking.
Ok.
That's all the questions I got.
Very
Por
well,
allá
then.
veo a Cubol, así que me imagino que de
And I
pronto...
suppose you are...
Still looking?
A ver que por allá veo a Cubol. Y no sé si tengo que hablar con él.
Hey, pal.
Oh, geez, this guy again.
Funny, I was gonna say the same thing.
En prisión. ¿Qué estás moviendo aquí?
What kind of stuff have they got you hauling here?
How the heck would I know? Electro this, robo that, dynamo the other. It's all Greek to me.
¿Debe estar en prisión?
Shouldn't you be in jail with the rest of kids' gang?
I was, but then an opportunity availed itself and I
Sang like a canary.
prefer to think of it as exhibiting an admirable sense of self-preservation.
¿Tocarás para Trixie
You
luego?
be playing piano for Trixie later?
Nah,
Why not?
'cause little Miss Goody Two-Shoes thinks she's too respectable for cue ball these days.
Estoy molesto con
You
Trixie.
seem kind of angry about Trixie.
Angry. Listen, kid, me and Trixie go way back. I know stuff about her that even kid doesn't know. Stuff that curl your socks.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And now to see her flouncing around the place, making like her stink don't smell, it just, well, it just cheeses me off, you know?
¿Qué es tan
So what's
escandaloso?
so, toe curling about Trixie's past?
Yeah, like I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, come on.
No.
Tell you what,
Chango.
I'll tell you something embarrassing about me first.
Like what?
Nada, me habían repetido, me sedujo, secuestré un tren. Mi mamá me sedujo.
Well, under the influence of alcohol, my mom made a pass at me.
Ooh. All right,
Sí, sabe.
Junior, you win. That was pretty embarrassing. Almost as embarrassing as this.
Wow.
Trixie?
Yep.
She's not wearing much.
No kidding. She did a lot of these artistic postcards a few years ago. I got a whole set of them.
Can I have one?
I don't know. You ain't gonna do nothing bad with it, are you?
Nope.
I promise. I'll only use it for the greater good.
Well, okay.
Bueno, gracias.
Hang loose, pal.
You talk funny, mister.
Inventario. Tarjeta postal, examinar objetos.
Trixie sure got some nice, antlers. This
Cuernos.
is definitely something Edna wouldn't approve of.
Ajá. Wow. Usar objeto. Edna.
You might want to take a look at this.
Why in the world would I be interested in... Oh, what have we here? Oh, sir! Mr. McFly! It appears your muse has been inspiring more than progress.
Trixie? Oh, no, no, no. What are you doing with a dirty postcard?
What is
Que la
she
postal
doing
sucia.
in a dirty postcard? I swear, Mr. McFly, if that doesn't convince you that Trixie Trotter is unfit to represent Hill
I
Valley...
don't need you to lecture me about who I can or can't hire, Miss Strickland. Trixie's darn good at what she does. I don't care if she was once the winsome wench of Winnipeg. Her past doesn't matter to... Trixie?
Changos.
What is it, Audie?
You know I don't like to pry, but what state did you grow up in?
Province, Manitoba. Why?
Not even an American.
See, darling, the charter specifically states that the Expo's hostess must be a U.S. citizen, so if you're really a Canadian...
I'm being fired? You are firing me?
No,
Want
changos.
to?
Here, take it back. Well, I'm glad somebody's listening to reason.
Sucia. Ah, lo siento, Trixie, no era mi intención.
Let's
Ahora.
talk.
Bien. Dale a Trixie todo lo que necesita para poner celosa a Edna. Ja, 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 ja.
Trixie?
I'll do it. I'll make that blue-nosed bitty eat her heart out.
That's great. I
Excelente.
got it all planned out. When Emmett shows
But we
up...
gotta do it my way.
Huh?
I'm
Huh?
no good with improvising, and I ain't gonna memorize no lines. But I was in this play once. The Parlor Maid's Predicament. I figure I could lift a scene from that.
Okay.
Only, I need a few props.
Why am I not surprised?
Furs, a big diamond. It doesn't have to be real, understand?
That makes it easier.
And something
Uh-huh.
from this friend of yours, Emmett. Has he got a photo album?
I don't know. Probably.
Better
Sí.
bring it to me.
Furs,
Okay.
a diamond, and Emmett's photo album. And then?
Sit back and watch the fur fly.
Disfruta el espectáculo. Ve al laboratorio de Emmet. Bueno, ¿por dónde voy a mirar? A ver si es por acá. Que la verdad no sé cómo. Puerta frontal, Edna. El Delorean, Doc.
Ah, good. You're back. Give me the full report.
She says she likes you because you've got a virtuous mind, you look good in a suit, and you're completely faithful to her.
Damn, she's got me dead to rights.
Del
Well,
todo,
you'll just
mano.
have to find a way to change her mind. I'll be here if you need any help. Do you need any help?
Dejemos de ver dónde está tu joven yo. Tengo un plan. Conseguí que Trixie ayude en el plan.
Good news! I think Trixie's gonna go along with my scheme.
Pursue whatever strategies you like, but please don't tell me the details.
Ok. ¿Dónde está tu joven yo?
Any idea what your teenage self is doing right now?
Unless I miss my guess, he's in the garage frantically working on his latest invention and cursing because he can't quite get it to work.
Genial. Epa. Bueno. No sé por dónde me tengo que ir, la verdad. Camión. Camión. ¿Qué hubo, el chico?
Back in '86, I could just skateboard from Doc's lab to the high school.
Hasta la escuela. A ver, pistas. Es un largo trayecto hasta el laboratorio de Mena. ¿Necesitas algún transporte? El Delorean. Más bien.
Have you figured out what's wrong with the time circuits?
Not sure. Possibly. It seems to me to be a simple wiring issue, but I'm double checking to make sure. All the basic equipment appears to be functional.
Ok.
Any chance I could borrow the DeLorean? I want to drop in on young you at the lab.
Well, I don't know. The time circuits.
Pero
Listen,
no
I
me voy a
promise
dejar.
I won't take it to 88.
Even so, I'm worried about letting it out of my sight while it's still behaving unpredictably.
Del todo.
Tell you what, I'll take it on a test drive 1 minute into the past. If it passes the test, I'll let you borrow it.
Y si no. Funcionó, parece.
Didn't it?
I'm afraid not. In fact, the discrepancy appears to be getting worse. I arrived 6 hours ago.
Ah,
Oh, too bad.
I didn't want to risk undoing any of the work you've done thus far, so I kept out of sight. But the time lag wasn't entirely a waste. I stopped by the hardware store and bought the parts for a chronometric analyzer.
ok.
What?
A diagnostic device. See, I plug it into the time circuits and set them to cycle. When the green light goes off, I should have the data I'll need to understand the scope of the problem.
Hey,
De
no
acuerdo.
driving the exhibits off the lot.
Looks like you'll have to find another set of wheels if you want to get to the lab.
Eso parece. Ah, ya hay cosas abiertas. A ver. ¿Qué es esto? La corte del futuro. Camión. Vamos a ver si me deja utilizar el
No
camión.
keys. I'll have to find my wheels somewhere else.
A ver, la corte del futuro, chico. Tren del futuro. Ah, ahí está la
My future
patineta.
wouldn't be built so shoddily.
Hi, Miss Strickland. I was just...
Break what you like, Mr. Corleone. It's no skin off my nose. Just
Menos
keep
mal.
away from Emmett's booth. Speaking of whom, I better go see what's keeping him.
Este espacio, deberías quedarte aquí. Necesita
Should you
espacio.
leave him alone? I mean, he said there was still some work to do on his new project.
And that's exactly why I need to be there. Emmett's a very bright young man, but just between you and me, he does tend to get a little distracted by shiny objects. My job is to make sure he stays focused.
Changus.
But
Tut tut. Not another word. I've got the rest of the day all mapped out.
Miss Strickland!
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Heavens, you shaved off your hair, but Carl Sagan?
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
I'm not sure it would be seemly for me to be seen in the company of an alleged arsonist.
I think it may be in your best interests. You see, I know what you're up to.
Let's go somewhere where we can talk privately.
Bien.
Go. I'll keep her occupied till you get back.
Excelente, Doc. Pues no sé cómo utilizarlo.
hang on, Emmett. Hope you're ready for a big breakup.
Ah, tenía que darle la pinche calle. Qué estupidez.
Emmett?
Llegamos. Kit Tannen?
Thanks again for your assistance, Detective Parker.
Detective? What the hell is
Okay.
Kid doing here?
Nothing criminal, I assure you. I was just getting a mind map of Mr. Tannen for our exhibition at the expo. The authorities wouldn't allow Edna and I to stage a demonstration of the mental alignment meter with a violent felon, but this little baby is just as good. Okay, let's see now what's next. Check the stew, sort the maps. Ooh, I almost forgot that.
Edna really is
Changos.
cracking the whip, isn't she?
Well, yes, but she's got my best interests at heart. Without her, I can get so distracted. Did she send you down here to check up on me?
Yeah, she wanted to come herself, but...
She's busy too, I know. Well, you're a poor substitute for Edna's lovely features, but make yourself at home.
Thanks.
Okay.
No thanks are necessary. Without you, I'd never be where I am now, in love with the woman of my dreams, and a mere 6 hours from my first public triumph as a scientist. Wait a minute. 6 hours? Jumping Jehoshaphat, I'm running out of time!
Salí a convencernos de que Emmett no es un ciudadano modelo y la verdad voy a dejar el episodio hasta aquí para que no se haga mucho más extenso. Espero que les esté agradando, la verdad a mí me ha agradado mucho este juego. Denle un like y compártanlo, que la verdad me ayuda mucho y yo sé que el karma se los va a compensar en algún momento. De todas maneras, espero que les haya gustado y no siendo más, cuídense mucho. Nos vemos en estos días o la próxima semana y las mejores. Se cuidan.